Welcome back to the channel, folks. Thanks very much for coming back and seeing what we've got to give you this time. Well, this time it's something a bit different for you. I'm actually running a project, a story of the history of Balrossie List D school in Kilmacolm, from the time that it was a List D school from the 60s to it closed in the 90s. It was a sailors' orphanage, and then the BB had it for their summer camp and stuff in their HQ before it became a school. So I'm looking to get in touch with people who went through there and get an interview with them and maybe build a picture of how it was. Certainly knowing a bit of the history, some people really liked it there, others not so much. The video you're about to watch is from one of my other channels, incidentally. One of my paranormal exploring channel, actually. So if you're not into ghost hunting, so to speak, then I'm very sorry about that. But if you can look through the video to the bit in the corridor, I think it's about 30 minutes in, and I've got a list of 20 teachers' names there that I call out to get a reaction from the spirit within there. If they stir any memories of you, or you think somebody might know these names, pass it on, share it with them, and hopefully they return the call to me and I can meet up and get a chat. You'll find my email address on this YouTube channel in the About page, or it's stewmacmedia@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from anybody that was associated with Balrossie through that time. Hopefully you enjoy the video. It's something different for you. Leave a comment down the stair, and if you like it, please hit the like, and if you're not a subscriber already, please hit that bell button as well. It's absolutely free, no charge. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. Today we return to one of my favourite places. I've said this before in the odd video, but I'm back. It's recently been put up for sale within the last few months, and whether that happens or not, it's just an excuse to say, right, nobody's buying it, get rid of it. But we're back here. We've formed a real friendship with a spirit in here, Steve. And hopefully we hear from him when we're in here. We've got another device today to try. But I've got a few hours free today, and it was calling me back past few days. I've done a lot of research the past couple of weeks online, and I've discovered a lot of stuff that I didn't know before. I've got about 20 teachers' names here that used to work here. Some of them very good reputations from the students or pupils that were sent here, and some were real sinister and disgraceful actions that they carried out on the young people here who's meant to come here and get rehabilitated. So we'll take you in. I've just looked in the side door there, it is open, so let's take you through and we'll see what we can do. Right, let's go. Since I poked my head in the door there, I got the energy blasting out at me, so it really is, whether it's just me armed with more sinister knowledge of the place. No, what happened in here, I'm just getting that vibe. But I just looked in here a short time ago, and I got that waft of, you can sense the evil that took place So for folk who hasn't seen the videos before, as soon as we come in to this side, this was the kind of headmaster's rooms and teachers. I'm getting real. I'll just come round this way. I've got an assistant room today, but she's not wanting to go on camera, so we'll try and keep her at it. I'm getting real chills up me. I'm getting chills up me, man. And I've been to this place dozens of times. It's my favourite place, but I just got a feeling about it. Me and the daughter were here last time, and we done a session in that room we were just in, and we heard, you know that sound you get when you're in a bath and your skin sticks to it and you move? We heard that exact noise. So this part of the building wasn't really affected by the fire in September 21. But did you hear that?
What the fuck was that?
That was a fucking footstep right away.
It's out here.
Where?
Out there.
Folks, I don't know if the camera picked it up, but the mics are quite sensitive on this GoPro, but we had a scuffle out here. We had an actual fucking footstep.
Oh!
What?
I don't know if that was a drip.
Tell you, I feel it. I can feel it, man.
Oh, I'll come out of here.
You've been in here plenty of times. Steve will look after us, don't worry. But we're not even in a place, I'm in it, man. Oh, fucking what a place. Magic.
Oh, back in my neck.
I love this place, you standing on all the hairs. And this corridor here, folks, is where we...
But this is where we heard
the growl. Aye, this is where we hear the growls and the breathing. So this corridor... It is again, do you hear it? Is that in here? Is that in there? Folks, I don't know if you can hear that. Just got my wee GoPro with me the day, and the microphones are quite sensitive. But we're in here. You've come in ways, that's the only time we stepped in here. And we've had two kind of shuffles. This is brilliant. This is fan dabby. Steve, are you in here with us? Let me see if Steve's here with us. I've not seen you for a few months. This was a kind of classroom that had benches all around it. It was like a kind of science lab or something. How's the ceiling? Not too bad. A lot of drips in here, so that's there. There's a little blackboard there. Place is soaking. Absolutely soaking. And how the whole place went up in a puff of smoke is very sinister indeed. It wasn't a wee guy with a bloody box of matches, that's for sure. It was meant. Right, come out, so you'll be on this if you sort of about this. You've been on camera before in here, but it doesn't matter. Let's go walk up here. She's got withdrawal symptoms there, I left her. So, I've been coming here for 11 years. And I don't know if it's just with the new knowledge that I've just learned there online, but I've got the severe chills in here. So this just takes us out to back to the corridor where we started. So we'll do that again. An alarm system there and whatever. So here we are, back to where we come in. There's the door we come in. We'll just have we'll walk right through the bottom first before we got with that wee. But it's always this corridor we hear. And it's just turned absolutely ice cold there, feel that? That's just a continuation of the classrooms where we were up there in that bath. We've just got a look in here. This is just another wee classroom. Nothing much to see here. Let's head back out. We'll go left. So shortly I'm going to read out a lot of the names that I've discovered. I've got 20, pardon me, about 20 teachers. And I'm going to read out some to see if we can muster up any activity in here or response. That noise might have just been Steve saying hello. There's your old 80s TV there that you had to get up off the seat and go and change the channel. Don't know how lucky these new whippersnappers are, sitting on their arse. Get everything handed to them. What's that?
What the f*** was that? Did you hear that?
No.
There's fucking something out there.
No, I never heard
There
it.
is.
Too busy talking. You sure?
In there, to your left now.
Is it? That's this corridor again.
Did you not hear that?
No, I never heard it that time. What was it? Same again? I think we should get the app running now. You're going to... Will you hold it?
No. Let's see it.
I can't do both. I need to... Excuse me folks, I need to open the fingerprint here. I'm going to try a new app. It's the Ghost Tube Seer. It's the latest one. It's a kind of AI thing. We'll put the camera at the front, and it comes up with visualizations. It picks up, and you can record it. It picks up. See, there's a vision coming up now. It's a man. Who's that?
I don't like that.
Here, hold up.
No.
I can't hold the two ones at the same time, so you carry that.
Where is he?
Well, it picks up in the kind of... It says it picks... It can read the kind of electromagnetic field of your surrounding area and pick up. So is that Steve? Steve, is that you? We've heard 3 times. Right, I'll come up with something else. We'll just keep scanning the kind of near atmosphere. I mean, that's as far as we've got, folks. From that door to here, the place is mental. The place is absolutely bonkers with activity. Right, we'll head through here. That's just birds, alright. That's just the crows. Devastation, man. It's a shame. And yet that old beam there, it's still sticking at the wall. It was hanging off for 20 years and it still survived the fire. There's another wee bit there, it was the back of the kitchen. Wee sink in there. Oh, did that get in there, shut now? That was where the cooking area was in there, folks. We'll just give it a wee look in there. You see where the big ovens were and it's all tiled. Nothing happening on the ghost tube yet. Very strange that face came up right away, wasn't it? I've had it on a few times, I've never seen that. So above us here was the main hall, with the gym hall, the theatre. Over this side of the roof here, just above us, was a stage and the stage lights. They were all still there. Although the floor was gone years ago, I'd never walked across it. The floorboards were totally gone. Didn't even chance it. And I was never in this top end of the building at this side because the floor was just wrecked. You'd go right through it. No problem at all. So we'll come through this way. I've always maintained that I'm going to come up here and spend a night. like we did at Grimm in the Buchanan Castle. I've always maintained I've got to do that, and it's time's running out. I need to get myself in gear, or I'll miss it. So you can see there's a classroom above us here. I'm not sure what it was, but pure stinks in here, man. I don't think that was quite as bad as that the last time we were here, was it? This is the corridor. We always get bangs and knocks in here on demand, folks, so let's try it out again. This was our favourite room in here.
That was my roof in there.
Have you not been up here since the fire?
Aye.
No, it's gone.
Where's something through?
What was it?
Don't know. Something.
What is that? That's a kind of tattoo of is that a dragon? A dragon serpent type. I don't know. But this was a room we always got good activity in, folks.
The last time we were in here, it all had a roof on it.
No, it would never.
It did.
Not me, no. No, it never. It's gone.
This is the front room. The very
Aye,
first time
this is our room, aye. Well, you've obviously not been through it since the fire properly then. It's always been gone. Where has it all went? It's burnt away to nothing. It's disappeared. This is a room where we first discovered Steve on the spirit box. He kept coming through, and every time we've been here, we've had Steve. Past times it's like stay and don't go and don't leave, and it's always anywhere you go it's like leave and get to. So we're here to see if Steve's about. Steve. It's Stuart and Lindsay here to see you again. It's been a while. What's the relevance of the dragon there? Something come from that room. It's strange. It's some kind of ritual in a fire. What's this? What does that look like? Wonder what the relevance is of that. A circle of people kind of worshipping flames. Strange. There's just toilets in there as well. One place we were never is up that bit there, Lindsay. Let's see if we can get up here, because that was the other side of the classrooms, but this was boarded off. So let's see if we can get up here. It's just to the top of the stairs, that's all. Just up at the top of the stairs, because it's a place I've never been. Might be quite difficult getting back down again, but this is about as far as I'll go, but aye, it saves all the photos onto the memory. What does it look like?
A big fireplace and all that is what it could have been up the stair, but it looked like.
It's interesting. Well, it all saves it to the memory too, so you can look back on it. It's saving the video as well. You know, the banister behind the wall there, so it was always, maybe you come in through that door and it's always been shut, that's why. Breathing heaven, what it should be, man. I'm seriously a fit. We need to get walking for July. Ready. Put it in there again, because it seems to come up with a picture every time you put it in a different room. Huh? So we've never had a growl or a breath in this part of the... We've always had a bang, haven't we? But it's always came from that direction over there. You hear that?
That's a couple of times I've heard something.
Where did that come from? Through there, where I was just talking about. That was another... That was another scuffle. This place never fails. It never fails me. Just heard another foot scuffing along the deck over there, so we're going to go back that way in a minute. Just give it a quick look in here. The beams are on their last legs. What the hell is that? There's a face.
That looks like me a bit.
This is a girl's face. It's weird how it changes when you get into a different room, isn't it? So who's this face that we're seeing here? Can you tell me? You can speak to me. Speak to me and let me hear who you are. I can hear you. Is it you that's walking around out there? She doesn't look in good shape, I must say. We'll head back out again. We'll follow the source of that.
I keep feeling as if someone touches my shoulder.
This place is magic, so it is. I mean,
What's that?
It's a beach site. It's a beach scene with rocks and a lighthouse. Not sure how. Did you hear that? No. Some tapped right beside us. Now at the back is. And if you had a wee moan there, it was a distant motorbike, folks, for the camera purpose. Not everything is a noise in here. And I smell burning. Smell it?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, aye. Strongly.
Now there is neighbouring houses, folks, not that far away, so it could be them. But there's fresh burning happening here. Is it just a memory? Is it just stone memory that we've came across there? You know, sometimes things that horrific get welded into the fabric of a building. And what was that? I had missed that. Sometimes something so bad happens, it gets recorded into the actual fabric of the stone and it can be replayed like a video. What is it, you hearing something? Like a video recording. Residual energy. This is what we're after, this series, isn't it? Residual energy. This one could be one of our... I've got enough footage of this place to I'm not happy with any of it. Let's just navigate over these. What? Is that a stained glass window? The camera must have heard that. It's a stained glass window in it, with a face on it.
Somebody with glasses. It's a gander.
There's that fire again. Fuck me, that's close. Hope nobody set one of the nearby buildings up. We'll need to go and check, folks, because that's close. That was a rattle as well we had there, wasn't it? Well, that's at least half a dozen.
I'd like it in here tonight.
Wait to start reading out the sinister names, man. I think we'll get a bite with that. It looks like asbestos there, so we'll be staying well clear of that. Yep. Used for insulation back in the day. But while you're not going through there yourself. Folks, he's waiting on me going first. Me one, this corridor
I'd
is...
rather I went first and you went last, to be honest.
This corridor's mental. It's got a bit of light on it again.
Let's see if that man comes back through that in here.
So if we just be quiet for a second, see if we can hear that. I'm just going to be quiet for a second. See if we can hear that always a breath in here, or a growl. Steve, are you here today? Can you come and say hello? There's one good thing that's happened in here since the fire. The big pinot that was painted up there for 20 odd years gone. It's finally faded away, folks. Someone come up the corridor. What have we got? Now, look at that. You know what that looks like? That building from outside, that long building. That looks like that from the outside. So let's go up and show the folks if it's any resemblance from out in the yard. Tennis ball there, it's not been there before, but it looks like a dog's toy. There's like a changing room in there or something. Iron Maiden on the wall, it's always been there as far as I've known this place. It's always been cluttered. Kind of boiler house, heating house, water tanks, boiler. This is the yard I was talking about, watching nails sticking out it. And this is where I envisioned that picture coming from. Watch this, folks. You know, there's not been a cut since we've seen that video. That is where I think that photograph looked like.
Men in the middle of that because it was very windows on it.
Well, that band there, aye. Regardless, I think that was shown as here. I've never got into that properly in there ever. In there, it's been quite secure. I wonder if that's opened eventually. Yet another place. We'll need to come back here again. Lindsay, that's somebody eating their dinner.
Somebody in the corner.
Somebody in the corner, but look, this is the canteen. Look at the 4 windows over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's unbelievable.
There was something come up, but I couldn't make it out. I don't know what it was. So they were carrying something.
That is unbelievable. So folks, let me update you with that. We're in the kitchen area here, in the dining hall. And it's got 4 windows. And we just seen a picture coming through. It's meant to be some new AI technology this new app picks up through the electromagnetic field. And it picked up and it showed us somebody sitting eating their lunch in a canteen type area with 4 windows at the back yet. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I think that was from a house nearby. So I'm going to stop that up the new Lindsay. Aye. And we're going to go into Spirit Talker. I've recently downloaded that one and it seems quite good. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to put on a kind of voice bank type app. And I'm going to read out a couple of passages from some that I've discovered online about this place. And we'll see if that draws any energy, any activity up from some of the names that I'm going to call it. So let's get to that. So we'll just press the power button. I don't know what the magnetic button does, but it scans. It doesn't go all the time, but we'll put the volume up so as we can hear it. And I'll read that. You come over here and you hold the camera. So you hold the camera at me. That GoPro can be a bit forgiving.
Don't go down there.
That's a house.
Is that somebody tapping? Aye.
I shit
Fuck's
myself.
sake, my arse went there. My arse literally went there.
Your face trapped, I've never seen that.
My arse went. That was... There's neighbours not far away and they're using a hammer, man. Oh, hold on. So let's do this, folks. I was searching one of the head, I don't know if they called him a headmaster in this place. It was a List D school for runaways and people who wouldn't learn and skid school and bad at home and not in control, families not in control of them, so they get sent here. I don't know if they call it a headmaster or just a head, but we'll call him the head for... And the guy between the 60s and 80s anyway, that I've led to believe his name is Thomas Hand. Thomas Hand was a corporal punishment fanatic.
My childhood.
My childhood. Did Thomas Hand ruin your childhood in here? So he was a nutter. And he was brutal. He would be a fan of the old toys, which for people my age who used to get this in school, it's a leather belt about 2 inches thick with a cut at the end of it about 6 inches up, so they had 2 flaps on the end of it and they'd whack you with it. So this is an article from the TES magazine, which is Times Educational Supplement, and it was called Soft on Teachers, Soft on the Belt. And it was published in January 1999 by David Henderson. And it goes, the Labour government's reluctance in the late 60s to upset teachers and intervene in the classroom. Hiding. And don't need to hide for me, you can come out, you're okay in here. To upset the teachers and
Nora.
What?
Nora.
Nora. Hello, Nora. The Labour government's reluctance... I'm never going to get reading this, am I? Reluctance to upset the teachers and intervene in classroom practice ensured that the belt survived for a further 15 years. Pressure was building throughout the 60s for an outright ban on the Scottish Education Department. Papers released under 30-year rule show ministers were reluctant to legislate Instead,
I'm sorry.
they backed a consensual approach towards gradual elimination of corporate punishment. The liaison committee
Is that banging?
What?
Sit and talk.
There's nowhere to sit. We've just got to stand. Okay, don't need to hide anyway, come out.
Look below.
Look below. I don't really know where to look, there's
I
nothing.
heard something down there a minute ago.
So carrying on. The Liaison Committee of Educational Matters, an umbrella group of unions, head teachers, employers and civil servants, took more than 2 years to produce a code of practice on phasing out corporal punishment. Published in 1968, the code recommended that the belt only last as a last resort and advocated alternative sanctions. 3 years earlier, a primary school memorandum suggested the belt should not be needed. This is what, 68? This is 1968. Still in force in the 80s when I used to get it. But the Scottish Secondary Teachers Association in 1967 advised civil servants involved in drafting the code that teachers would not be prepared to eliminate the belt until proven alternative is forthcoming. Nevertheless, a spokesman said the code was extremely handy guide for teachers and would act as a deterrent to anyone inclined to be over severe in the administration of the old hitty-hitty. The Scottish Schoolmasters Association commented, most of the points are already followed by teachers anyway, and I would disagree with the mollycoddling of girls. The TES Scotland attacked the outcome. The code of practice will be seen by teachers who have dispensed with corporal punishment as licence to beat. Those who use and indeed rely on this sanction as the basis of their discipline will be confirmed in their practice, it said. The Glasgow Herald... Wife. Mr. Hand's wife used to work here, she was a nurse. The Glasgow Herald in an editorial agreed the code contained little that is new and nothing that is enlightening. The code said the belt should not be used for poor class performance, truancy or lateness, or in infant classes. It should only be used when following clear warnings and only given by striking the palm of pupil's hand. Girls should be exempt in secondary school. Where used, corporal punishment should be used as the last resort and should be directed to punishment of the wrongdoer and to securing the conditions necessary for the order in the school for work in the classroom. But whipping boys in approved schools was strongly supported by heads. This is where we're getting to Balrossie. I've said it, doesn't matter. By heads and school managers in the late 60s. Bruce McMillan, the Education Minister, sought to bring approved schools into line with the code of practice and encountered strong resistance. Corporal punishment was used in Scotland 10 times as often as in English. Edward. Corporal punishment was used in Scotland 10 times as often as in English approved schools. Heads had mostly stalled following the Scottish Office Circular in 1967, so they just wanted to carry on their brutality. Over hasty withdrawal may lead to a general breakdown of discipline and force the acceptance of standards that would not be accepted at home or day school. The Approved Schools Association Scotland advised in January 1968. Private letters between psychologists who worked in approved schools and HMI, some institute, I don't know what that stands for, tell a different tale. Max Patterson, who wrote John Macpherson, HMI, responsible for approved schools, about true picture of beatings. This is the last page. One visit to another school, I was told by the headmaster as a joke that a child, an 11-year-old, bent over the desk to receive
memories.
What?
Have memories.
Have memories.
Are you talking about him now? No.
You have memories. Don't need to hide as well. You can come out and see us. We're absolutely fine. We'll welcome you. We're not going to hurt you. An 11-year-old bent over the desk to receive his punishment had soiled himself after only 2 strokes. The child had panicked, jumped and ran around the room. The head said, "You should have seen the job I had before I caught up with him to give him the rest." The school was Dr. Guthrie's Boys in Edinburgh. Punishment books in approved schools did not reflect the actual number of beatings. That's so they're hiding. I think they had to write down who had the belt and stuff. I'll skip a couple. I'll skip a couple of paragraphs here. We'll get to here.
Elsewhere.
Elsewhere, yes. We're talking about here now, right? Thomas Hand, head at Balrossie School, Glasgow, wrote, this is in the confidentiality letters here, when it had been decided that corporal punishment is the most appropriate treatment for a serious offence, and when strokes are administered...
Jeff.
Who?
Geoff.
Jeff. When it had been decided that corporal punishment is the most appropriate treatment for a serious offence, and when strokes are administered on the posterior, it is surely right to assume that it is intended that the punishment in this case should be painful to the recipient. This is not the case when administered over corduroy trousers and underpants. With a light toz, that's just your normal belt, it is considered that when occasion demands it, special clothing should be worn to produce the desired effect. Alternatively, a heavier type of toz should be used. Mr. Hand added, the deterrent value to others of corporal punishment is increased when witnessed by a group, and has probably more effect on the recipient when he is dealt with before his fellows. He said the beatings had a corrective and deterrent effect on certain individuals. A study had shown that most boys believed that there was insufficient use of corporal punishment, and no grudges were borne against the administrators of the punishment, he added. So Mr. Hand sounded like a nutter to me, who should be in the jail. And I read one horrifying comment on a video that Mr. Hand here, when they used to take boys to punish them, Dorothy, when he used to be on one of his sprees of terror and punishment, used to stand a boy...
We are watching you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm here to try and bring you some peace. The bold Mr. Hand used to get his golf gear out and whack golf balls at the boys, who had to, if they didn't dodge them, they'd crack their skull wide open, and that happened in this very building. So, I've got a list of some good names here. Some good teachers. I'm going to say, read out their names, and if there's any...
I can see you all.
Good. Well, come and answer me then. If you like these first names, let me know. Right? Make a noise and let me know. Now, the list of good people who worked in this building between the 60s and 80s, I don't know exact times. Joe and Anna Richmond, and they're also their son David, they worked in the Arran unit. I think that's one of the units at the back there. Mr. McCallum, he was a head teacher here from 82 to 86, so the bold Hand, I think, was replaced by him. Les Smith, Steph Davidson, Jim Dickey, he was a gardener. Kathy Regan, she was in the Butte unit, one of the units at the back. Mr. Monroe, the woodwork teacher. Alan MacDonald. And this one is some mixed reviews. Some say they were beaten by him, some say it was okay. Charlie Bucket, which was Charlie Horn. Now for the bad names.
My lungs.
Your lungs. Hear it?
Bang.
So now for the bad names.
There's 3 of us.
Okay. There's footsteps, isn't there? There is footsteps. Right, so...
I'm guilty.
Is that Mr. Horn? Is that Mr. Horn come through there? Too late for your guilt now, son. You've done it. Your actions... You can't take back history.
Did you hear that again?
No. So to the energies remaining in this building, which we know there are a few, Hopefully these
You
names
hear
don't...
it? It breaks or something like that.
Hopefully these names don't bring back horrific memories for you, but I've got to read them out. Please do try and interact with me if you can. So, when you...
Take photo.
Take a photo. Don't have my camera today. Thomas Hand, he was ahead with his 60s and 80s, so I think 82. Certainly Mr. McCallum was here, so I don't know when.
You see us.
Not really. Come and show yourself
But they're
too.
saying take a photo.
Alright, I can't
And then
take a...
on that,
You'll see you on the photo. Have we seen you on the other photos? Is that what you're saying? So Thomas Hand was one.
Prison.
Prison. Well, it could be prison or prism.
prison.
Prison. It could be. This is excellent. This is excellent. Responses here. It could be described as a prison. Alan Abrine, or Abrine, who was a Jim. He'd bad times in here in the 60s, but when he was still here in the 80s.
People hear my voice.
Yes, he was still here in the 80s, but he conformed to the no belt rule and he was perfect after that. So, O'Brien, Graham O'Brien was his son. Can anybody remember these names? Leslie Bucks, Mr. Leslie Bucks, Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Swarbrick, and these classrooms, he was headmaster's classroom where we were in first and stuff, that's where a lot of this abuse would have took place. And obviously a man had a horrible hairdo, he was called Mr. Poodle, so there's no name for him but he's just Poodle, so it must have been one of the Como and Archie McPherson we call it here in Scotland. The information gathered there was from actual pupils' comments online, so I can't verify them as true or false, just going by what people have, and they typed it with such disdain that you could feel their anger, so there might be something in it. And that's basically that. So, has anybody... Mabel. So what about them names? Steve, are you here? We know that might have been traumatic to hear, but that's the history of this building, and it was absolutely a disgraceful way. I'll just take that back. Secret, yes, there's secrets, I bet you. And the beatings, I did read as well, they tried to ban these belts on the bare bum because of sexual connotations as well, slapping somebody's bare bum. So we'll take our walk in here again because I believe that these were the headmasters and the assistant heads' rooms, and a lot of these beatings would have happened in these very walls here. Well, we're in here again, this is where we had that. We've not had any scuffles lately, but we have. So this is one of the teachers' rooms here. I don't know whose. Just a mad. Below. Is there something under us? Are we below you? Is that what you're saying?
Now.
What?
Run now.
Run.
Fuck this, I'm off.
Run now. Why?
Anyway.
Why have we run? What? Edmund. Hello, Edmund. Why have we run? We don't need to run now. There's no teachers here to do any harm anymore. They're gone. You don't need to run anymore. You're safe. Trust me. You don't need to run away from anybody. You can be in peace in this place now. It's all over. It's been over for 30 years. Just that room again in there that we had that thump you had to run out the first time and then run now. Might be something to do with that room in there. We'll try that once more before we leave. Got a third time lucky then. I'm kind of convinced bad things happened in there. This is another teachers and authorities room here. an office type. See, there was a kind of cat. Adam. Hello, Adam. It says nobody has to be frightened of us. Do not be scared of us, we're fine. We're here to we're back again just to say that we always think about the place. And we should be up more often, I know that. That was me kicking that light shade. So we'll go out this way here. That's
I
one.
had a good life.
Did you? That's good. Right, so we'll get in that room once more before we leave, Lindsay, right? And we'll see if something happens again, because that's been twice. And if it is, this could have been Mr. Hand's office in here. Mr. Hand, you're not throwing your hand about anymore, are you? Yeah. Big bully boy. You thought you were the man, eh? Nothing but a pussy. How you treat these poor people who are in here for help. The most vulnerable people. And you treated them like that.
Footstep.
Footstep. Here it is again, I think it's this room. I think this is the room. The hand room. Where some shit took place in here, man. And there's a convenient back room there where you could be locked in. There you go, Lindsay, how's that for a theory? There's a convenient room in here where you could be just locked in here. And from outside, above you there's a spiral. You think this is a staircase, but it's not. I think there's something to do with this wee room in here. A wee cubby hole you could get flung in there and left. People, I read as well. People would get punished like that just for smiling. You know, just for smiling at somebody. Dragged in here and get your ass rid raw. But I think we'll make our way out. Not head for Steve. Unless Steve's been making the noises. We normally get the name Steve. But there we go. That was another wee visit, folks. And for the 45 minutes or so we've been here, it's been mental, isn't it? Place never fails. We will be back. And we'll see others. It's okay. It's okay, the others. It's been good coming back to seas again, but you must stay here. This is where you remain. Don't attach to anybody.
Do not attach to me.
Do not attach to anybody. You stay here and we'll come back and see you again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us. So, what do you think of that?
I do not consent to anyone coming home with me but myself.
Place is so active, it's unbelievable, man. It really is. I've never came here and had a quiet night, a quiet visit. That's the way we want it. People has visited here and got run out of the place in fear. We've never had that. We got on just fine with whoever's in there, and I believe Steve looks out for us, because we've known Steve now for about nearly 3 years. 3 and a bit years we first met Steve, and every time we came here he's been making a noise, boom, there's always something he does for us, so. But that's it, there's a final look. Place started off as a sailor's orphanage. Then sometime mid-century last, it was the BB, Boys Brigade, took it over, and this is their holiday camp here for all the Boys Brigade camps. Out the back there they had a swimming pool and a football park and all sorts of, the camp took out there as well, camping in the area. And apparently the stories from that time were very good, and then it became a List D school, and that's where it all went wrong for a lot of the people. So, thanks for watching that one. If you like this, please tell us down below, leave a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already, it helps us out a lot. And we will be back here sometime, we will definitely be back. It says it's up for sale for houses, I think it's 2 million the land and all that's up for. Selfishly I hope it doesn't, I hope it just stays like that forever, and I'll just be happy. So, see you later on, see you in the next video, cheers. So Lindsay just had a thought there, that there's no evidence of a fire anywhere. There's a couple of houses relatively close by, but there's no smoke coming out of chimneys around, so that, I think that was just residual energy we smelt there of the burning of the place.